What's up, Chris? What's up, YouTube? It's Chris with Murphy Firearms Training. I get often asked this question by new shooters. What caliber should I carry? These are folks that don't own a gun, and they're trying to narrow down what they should buy for their first carry gun. And I'm going to give you my 5 rules, my 5 guidelines for what caliber you should carry. In no particular order except the first one. The first one is the first one for a reason. The other 4, they can go in any order you please. Number 1 is reliability. So the 2 things I tell people when it comes to this is I don't recommend rimfire ammunition. So this is a 22 long rifle, and it's one of the guns we let our beginners shoot, and I don't recommend it as a carry gun. And the reason for that is that almost every misfire I've ever had has been with rimfire ammo, and in a defensive situation, you don't want your gun to go click. So that's the first one. The second thing I tell them is, if you go out and you buy a new gun, buy several boxes of the hollow points you intend to carry, shoot them through your gun. Make sure your gun will function with the ammo you're going to carry in it. Why? Because reliability is number 1. That is important. Okay? After that, in no particular order, what are the other things that I want them to consider? Number 2 is availability of ammo. I'm going to give you one of my favorite calibers in the whole world. This little guy right here is probably my favorite revolver caliber in the entire world. This is chambered in .327 Federal Magnum. I think it is a superior caliber to .38 Special. I truly love to shoot it. It is so much fun to shoot. This gun holds 6 rounds instead of 5. Gets more energy on target than .38 Special. I think just in every way this is superior to .38 Special in the same very discreet carryable package. I don't recommend it to new shooters because there's not a store within 100 miles of my house that carries that ammo. Period. Now, I reload. That's not an issue for me, but most new shooters aren't. So I try to tell folks to try and find ammo that, pick a caliber that you can find ammo for. Okay? And for some folks who are willing to shop online and get ammo shipped to their house, that's a different discussion than for folks who insist on walking into a store and buying it in a store. Okay? So, and again, every one of these questions, it's not a cut and dry. It depends on that person's unique situation. I get a lot of folks who are older, they're not comfortable buying stuff online, they want to walk into a store. Well, if they want to walk into a store, they're not going to find .327 Federal Magnum anywhere around here. It's just not going to happen. So, availability of ammo. Why? Because let's be honest, this thing's a paperweight if you can't put ammo in it. The next one is a big one. It's shootability. And shootability really has 2 pieces. One is, can you shoot the gun well, i.e. can you hit what you aim at? And number 2, can you handle the recoil well enough that you would practice with it and that you wouldn't hesitate to shoot it in a bad situation? And I say that only because I've had people who could shoot a .45 auto and hit the target, but they'll readily admit that the recoil of a .45 auto after 2 or 3 shots is too much and lay the gun down. Well, then it's not really shootable. So, I can handle .460 Magnum recoil. Can most people from a snub nose handle .460 Magnum recoil? Not really, okay? Are there folks that can shoot a 9mm and hit their target all day long, and when I put a .45 in their hands, they're all over the target because of the increased recoil? Absolutely. So, is it shootable? One of my favorite little anecdotes, in our concealed carry class, we let people shoot 12 different guns. And we handle them in the classroom before we go to the range, and this is always a favorite. Everybody flocks to this little LCP. They're like, oh, it's so small, it's so light. And of course we have dummy ammo and they see the size of the .380 and they think, oh, it's not going to be bad, I'm going to really enjoy that. And then, further down the table, we have this guy, and we have our nice big, fat 45 ACP dummies next to it. And they see this monstrosity with the muzzle brake on it. And they think, oh, that's going to be so awful. It's going to be so terrible. And 99 times out of 100, when we get to the range, this was the favorite in the classroom. Nobody wants to shoot that. After they shoot them both, 99 of 100 pick that over that. Because that little 380 in this tiny light package that you can't get all three fingers on recoils considerably more and jumps around in your hand considerably more than this all stainless, really heavy, long-barreled 45 ACP. Even though this is shooting a much heavier projectile, the felt recoil for most beginners is more manageable. This doesn't jump around in their hands, partly because it fits their hand better. Okay? So shootability. A gun's not useful if you can't hit the broadside of a barn. Okay? The next one is carryability. Okay? Magnum Research BFR short cylinder. This is a great gun. It's a lot of fun to shoot. Chambered in 500 JRH. Another one of those weird calibers that you can't find anywhere, but I reload, so I don't care. This gun weighs like 4 pounds. I've seen boat anchors that weighed less. Most people, especially if they're new to carrying, are not going to carry something this heavy and this long and this bulky. They're going to leave it at home. Well, that makes it useless. The flip side of that is gimmicks. You get new shooters who say, oh, that's really carryable. I'll carry that everywhere. What's the problem? They're not going to shoot it. So find that middle ground. I've found that a single stack 9, like this Smith & Wesson EZ, a double stack like maybe the Springfield Hellcat or the Ruger Max 9, something in that range tends to be a good gun for most beginners, or occasionally 5 or 6 shot revolver. Okay? That tends to be a good starting point for most people. And then the last thing I always tell them is this. If you own more than one gun, or if you shot multiple guns, and okay, I can hit with pretty much everything I've shot. I've got a list of things that I know I would carry. I could stand to carry these. And I still don't know what caliber to carry. Like, I've gone through your other things, Chris, and I just don't know what to carry. Then I have my last rule, my last guideline, my last recommendation. Carry the biggest caliber that you shoot well. So if you've got a 9 and a 40, and you shoot them both equally well, they're both pretty much the same size gun, and they both pretty much carry the same, you would carry them both day in and day out, go with that bigger caliber. Why? It's going to make a bigger hole. A bigger hole means you're going to stop your threat sooner. Okay? Now, someone's going to come at me in the comments with some hate and say shot placement, shot placement, shot placement. I already covered that with shootability, guys. And I agree. Shot placement is more important than caliber size. Okay? But if you can put the shot on target with 2 different calibers, carry the biggest caliber you shoot well. But just like everything else that I tell a beginner, just like any advice I give in life, those 2 words, it depends, creep in. Because I'll tell someone, carry the biggest caliber you shoot well. Well, every now and then you get someone who's done a lot of shooting. And they can shoot a 460 Magnum well. For an urban environment, that might be excessive, right? Because even if you can shoot it well, even if you're willing to carry a 4-pound 460 Magnum, something this powerful in an urban environment could actually overpenetrate. And let's be honest, this is kind of hard to carry, but some people are able and willing to carry it. So carry a gun that fits what you're doing, but carry the biggest gun that you can safely and effectively use well. And if that gun's 380, then 380 is good. Carry a name brand hollow point and practice with it. If that gun's 9, great, because you can find 9 in every store that you walk into. If that gun is some oddball niche caliber, okay, like a 460 Roland or a 327 Federal Magnum or a 500 JRH, are you able and willing to do what it takes to find ammo to feed it? And if the answer is yes, and you like it, great, carry it. Okay? So I hope at some point in your life you get the privilege of getting someone who comes to you and trusts you and asks you, what caliber should I carry? And if you do, I'm begging you, don't just tell them what you carry. Don't just dismiss them. Ask them questions. Find out their situation. Take them shooting and let them try different calibers. Okay? But at the end of the day, their gun has to go bang. They have to be able to put ammo in it. They have to be able to find ammo. And especially that availability thing is a problem right now because ammo demand is outpacing supply, and some of those niche calibers just aren't available in commercial loadings at all. So if you don't reload, you can't shoot it. Can they shoot it well? Can they handle the recoil? Is it a gun they'll actually carry? And then, is it the biggest caliber they can shoot well? With limits, of course. Okay. You know the old joke, right? What's a 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum for? It's for shooting a burglar behind the refrigerator at your neighbor's house. Okay. The reason that joke's funny to some folks is there's a little truth in it. So anyway, guys, I hope that's helpful. I hope you get the chance to take someone out shooting, help them pick a good carry caliber, and don't just recommend what you carry, because what you carry as an experienced shooter might not be right for a new shooter. Ask them questions and guide them in the right direction. That's what we're here for. And I hope it helps. I hope it sparks some debate. If you have questions or comments, leave them below. Or you can email them to me. I'll answer everything that comes in, and I hope you're respectful and there's not too much hate mail on it. I like you guys, and I appreciate you watching. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for your support.